How's it going, everybody? This is a brief video review of the Wyrmwood Hexagonal gaming table. You know, this table came out 6-8 months ago, and there still isn't a video review of the table on YouTube. Can you believe that? I always wanted one, and I guess I had to wait until I did it myself. So here it is. This is my maple hexagonal gaming table from Wyrmwood. This is the premium maple option. I got it today. And I've got set up a Dungeons and Dragons application. So, you know, there is a lot of information about the table on the internet already on Wyrmwood's website, about the dimensions, about the particulars in those areas. But I just want to share a couple of interesting things that I've learned after building it and setting it up. So let's talk about it. So first thing I got to do, you know, I got my hands free here. I want to show you one of these things. So we got the railing here. If you look at the railing is, let's take a look right there, just about a little under 3.5 inches. So that's a pretty solid railing. Some of these board game tables have railings that are 2 3/4 inches, you know, maybe 3 inches. So this is going to give you a really solid base for putting your elbows on, your hands on. Feels really good. The finish is very satiny. It's very comfortable. I also have a number of the accessories here, you know, so for any of you watching this video, you might either be waiting for your hex table or you're considering a hex table. So I'd like to share some of the applications of the accessories. So one of the important things to note is that the hexagonal table, you've got less rail to utilize accessories than the medium and the wide rectangular tables that everybody else is getting. That's actually a very important thing to note because, you know, I was setting this up today and I've got my cup holders here, and I bought some component holders, which I'll add in one of these boys. You know, you bring them in, but when I sat down and I, put my legs under and I had this here, this is about already a little bit more than I'd like to be in my waist space for the front rail. So there's lots of ways to expand and use this front rail, and I'll show you a little more later, but these guys, I'm not a big fan of having them outside. So I would recommend when you're considering buying one of these tables, you want to think about what are the applications. I bought a hex table because I thought it would be the best for board games because it was, you're equidistant from the center. I don't think you can beat that, personally. I don't think you can beat that with the medium or large. And how often am I playing with 7 or 8 people? Not very often at all, just to be honest. So I thought the hexagonal table was kind of superior in that way. But one thing that the medium and large tables have over the hex tables is more options to use the outside rail. So you're going to want to be very conscious of that. However, there are lots of fun ways to use the inside rail. There's plenty of space. I've got a couple of custom accessories here printed from Thingiverse. If any of you have been there, we have one of these kind of universal holders for the hex tiles. The hexagonal gaming tiles, which you can see here, which I love. I love these things. And you can see I have one of them floating on, check it out, a little bit of movie magic here, a piece of metal, a little bit of steel right here. And you can actually float additional hexagonal tiles off of this one accessory. Find it on Thingiverse. It's out there. But Wyrmwood, you should be smart and make these because the hex tiles and the hex table work incredibly well together. I really love them, and I think they look really great. So in my in my Dungeons and Dragons setup, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 4 tiles here. So you can actually, what I'll do is I'll have another one of these right here, and then I'll have 3, and then I'll float another one over here, 4. And this is going to be just for like a card shelf, basically, or a card. Yeah. So you can you can get really creative with these inner rails here. Of course, you've got your card rail here. This is the card holder. You've got 5 rails. It's looking like we have about 25 cards in here or so. Very good. I actually like these a lot. I'm glad they're not getting rid of them. And we have large cup holders, small cup holders. I bought a mug holder as well. I think that's going to be really good. And overall, one thing I can say here, let me just zoom out here a little bit. One thing I can say about this table is that it was larger than I thought, actually. I was worried, I waited for this table for a year. And I said, well, is it going to be too small? Is it going to be, kind of cramped? But I'm very surprised. It is very, very comfortable. Again, check out the dimensions on Wyrmwood's website. But let me give you a few dimensions that you might want to know. So at least for Dungeons & Dragons players, people are going to be putting maps here. What we're looking at is a 36 by 36 square, okay? 36 by 36, that's the largest square that can get placed inside of the hex table. Shout out to a member of the Wyrmwood Discord who went into SolidWorks and gave me that measurement. It was perfect. You see, we got a little bit of a tuck in. There's a tiny little undercut where you can tuck in the sides. That works perfect. If you're interested in knowing what is the largest rectangle that can fit inside of the table, it is a 44 by 32. So for anyone making maps, I like to print and laminate all of my maps in this beautiful color version of these maps that I purchase from much more professional map makers than myself. So you've got a 36 by 36 and a 44 by 32. Those are the two sizes. And actually, I intend to create maps that are the exact inner hexagon of the table, which I have not measured. So I guess I have to do that next. So essentially, what we're looking at is, it's a really wonderful seating and playing experience. The vault is very comfortable. For any of you who don't have, tables like this is your first table, this vault down here is going to give you a couple of inches of your view in your seat is going to shift. Here, let's improvise right here. So I'm sitting down. Here we are in my seat. So when you have this on an elevated surface, it's challenging to see everything. But with these couple of inches that the vault dives in, you're going to be able to see the playing surface, whether you're playing Wingspan or Catan or D&D or anything else, terraforming Mars, whatever you really like. You're going to be able to see the playing surface considerably better. And the hex table, again, what I love is from this space, you can't touch everywhere in the vault. So here, I'm 6'2", long arms. What can I do? All the way over there. That's about as far as I can get with my basketball arms. Your mileage will vary, but you're going to everybody can hit the center really easily. I mean, over here, those are other people's play spaces. You're going to need to reach those. But for D&D, you want to go where you need to go. But for any other board game, the equidistant option is really key. So let's see. Anything else I wanted to say? By the way, Brewski Buddy, come on, guys. You got to get one. You got to get one. Get the Brewski Buddy. It's actually really cool. So that's the review, folks. First hex table video on YouTube. I know I wanted one, but had to do one. Here it is. The next Kickstarter is coming out in 6-7 days. I highly recommend the hex table. I think it's better than the medium or wide. Don't at me, people who own medium and wide tables, but check them out. And for anyone who's new to the Wyrmwood ecosystem who wants to get into hex, you gotta get the hex tiles. The hex tiles work so well with especially this table, which I think they look so nice, and they look they have an incredible matching element to the hex table. But they are really, really tremendous. Another thing, let me just show you the topper block. So, you know, people put the toppers on, and I'm not going to do that. You can see that, you know, somewhere else. But topper block is really nice. It's a little bit of a T. You know, you only have four slats here. They're actually they're very manageable, very, I wouldn't call them lightweight, but they're not heavyweight either. Very doable. Make sure you get the topper block or another solution to manage your toppers, and go for it. So that's the video, folks. Thanks for watching, and good luck in the next Kickstarter, Modular Table 3.0. Let's do it.